Moving on to the last thing we did in the last part was pattern this. We go to the front plane, sketch on the front plane, draw a circle about in front of this, hold your cursor here, then move it forward so it produces a guideline. So now it's in line with this. Make another one, and smart dimension 27, first one, second one 13. That's good. And the distance from this to this point should be 20 millimeters. There you go. That's how it should be. Then we go to extrude this. In this menu, select up to next, and in this select an offset, and the offset is 29. Wait, not 29, 20. Yep, there you go. Should look something like this. Shouldn't be coming out from this side, but should be completely circular on this side. So we'd say yes, this is what we need. This is what it should look like. Now we will click on this surface. On the front plane, instead of that, on the front plane we will draw again from the side we drew the first time around. Let me just do that and have the sketch that I made last, this one. This sketch, I need to have it visible so that I can, the last circular extrude I did. Front plane. Yep. And sketch, as well as, I'm not sure why the extrude of, there it is. This sketch, I need to have it visible. And now we can go into sketch on the front plane because this will assist us. So we will take a circle at the center of this circle, draw it about this big. We need it to be 22. Corner rectangle. On this, there are obviously corners here. From this to this. And then we will connect these two sides. We will deselect that and connect this to this and say it needs to be tangent. So we just select that point and hold on to shift and select this point and say make contact. There you go. So now it's making contact. This is what it should look like. This little circle, go to trim entities, and cut this part off. This circular part is what we need. Cut this part off as well. And make another circle at the center that will be 13 millimeters size. It'd be 13 millimeters bigger than, oh yeah, this gives the radius. We don't need it. Let me just see this circle that I've drawn. Instead, let me give it a radius of, and use smart, give it the diameter because I have the diameter, not the radius. There you go. Should look something like this. we will go to exit sketch and extrude this surface that we just created, this sort of D shape or arch. In this, we will give an offset of 45 millimeters and select up to next and flip the direction. This is what it should look like. So that inside part was already created. We are only making this outside part that will be flush with this curved surface. So this is what we want, 45 millimeters up to next. Let's say okay. And this is what we end up with. Click on this surface inside, and I think instead of this, click on this is a flat surface. Sketch and just click at the rim of this circle. Once it's highlighted, this circle is highlighted, say convert entities, so it's drawn a circle. And use that to, instead of extrude cut, we will extrude, instead of extrude, we will cut it, and cut it inside so that there is a hole. There you go. Up to this point, we now have a hole to the inside, and then afterwards we move on to this surface. We go to sketch. First, before we do that, we will find the original. This is the one. This is the. If you hover your mouse on this, this is the original sketch. So we edit this one. We click here. Let me just exit sketch and enter sketch on this one instead of that, because this is the original one. We can use the pattern command that we used on the original one to basically have what we want. Click this corner, convert entities. Now this is in this way. Go to 3-point arc, click on here and here. We basically need a full-on circle. Let me align it with the center. There you go. It's a full-on circle. And we will say, yes, this is what we need, and then extruded cut this. Move it, reverse the direction of the extruded cut and say, okay, this is what we need. This is what it should look like. And then after, this sketch that we made visible, yes, last time, just hide it and apply a fillet of 1.25 millimeters, still selected. So we apply that here, and I think it won't let us apply it as here at the bottom as well. So we will first apply it at the above corner and then apply it on the bottom corner and say okay. 1.25 is the same, and then go to the control pattern command that we did and edit feature in the control pattern command, and open in this drop down tree the last commands that we've carried out. This is showing the things that we had patterned basically. Cut, extrude, we will do this, add this to circular pattern. It's not letting me add the pattern to this, even though this is the original one and we've edited it, but it's not. Might as well just apply another circular pattern. Waste time. Might as well apply another circular pattern. Needs to be in this direction and needs to be obviously 6 of these, and the features to pattern is this cut as well as this fillet as well as right, and let's say okay, and this should produce the same cut and effect on the rest of the holes, right? Apply a fillet here as well, fillet the same dimensions and everything to this sort of curved surface outside, as well as this face and this face. There you go. Apply a fillet the same dimension 1.25. Should be okay. This is what it should look like. Select this plane, front plane obviously, and then select the mirror command, and in the mirror command we need to basically mirror this entire thing on the other side. So we will go to features and it will start showing a preview of the things that it will mirror once we start clicking around. Make sure to have this click as many of the curves, corners, features, so it picks up most of it. And let's, I think the inside isn't to be, let me just have, you know what, I will add this to, instead of this, it only makes sense. I think that was the right thing, because this connection inside this and the hole behind this curvature, this, all the other features connected to this. Click as many of these surfaces, or just select it from this tree. This tree did the same thing, does the same thing, and you will see a preview of what is to come. Say okay, this is what we need. Fail to create a fillet. Let me see what kind of fillet did it fail to create. I think it's talking about, we will hover over the cut through hole, as well as these, all these commands are different, but other than that I think everything is the same. Let me see. Causing problems. Let me, it's I think this fillet is the causing the problem, so we'll add the fillet last. Right now the more important parts are this. So fillet usually have problems because they're generated from curves, and they basically, their equations get messed up, so we can just manually do this again. Not much of a hassle. Click here, here, this, then everything is done. And in the mirror that we did, go to the mirror that we performed, and in the sketch, edit feature, basically edit feature, and we will also need to cut this hole, the hole that we passed through hole, add that to the features, and I think everything else is done. Everything else is being copied, the inside part, the outside part, and it's okay. This should have a through hole. Yes, there it is. a through hole. The inside geometry, this part, everything is correct. And now we will basically move on to this face, that face inside, and go to sketch and say convert entities. Same with this, and say convert entities. Click all these and convert these entities. It'll basically draw a small circle because we need to make a hole in this for the screws to pass through, obviously. Go to sketch features and extruded cut. That circle will automatically be extruded from this. Say okay, this is what we need. Now there's holes in there. Nice. Now we will draw on this face. Go to sketch. Here we will circle about this big. Go to smart dimension and we will dimension this from here to here. And we would say this is 1.5. This is 1.5, and then we go to features, extruded cut, and we extrude this by 3 millimeters. Extrude cut it by 3 millimeters, and make sure the direction is inwards. No, it's not actually 3 millimeters. I think it is 5 millimeters, but no problem. We can just go to edit feature and change that. Let me change this feature to 5 millimeters. There you go. 5 millimeter is about this high. There you go. That's how it should look. Last ending steps of this, we'll apply a fillet to the inside of this, not the face. Delete that from here and click on this edge. 1.25, the same dimension as everywhere we've been doing, and do the same on this face. Fillet and say okay. And the absolute last detail would be applying a fillet to these two surfaces. So apply a fillet to this of 2.5 and apply a fillet to this of 1.5. I think both changed, but I think this is for the better. Give this surface, and this surface obviously has been filleted. Just need to apply the same fillet 1.5 to this surface and save this part. We will use it obviously in the assembly video, but for now this part is complete. This is one of the housing parts. So the opposite is opposite somewhat looks the same. It just doesn't have these types of holes, but we will continue to design, and in the next video we will design the next part, eventually leading up to the assembly.